Hi, I'm Bella Perez Rubio, and you're listening to Teka Teka. Here's what we're talking about in this episode.
We have awards, right? We have a Palanca Awards, we have the National Book Awards, we have like a few other awards, but you don't really have an award that lets the readers speak about like what books do we love to read. And because there was a gap, we thought that we wanted to like fill it.
An award for books chosen by Filipino readers returns after a 7-year hiatus.
It started in 2012. Back then, a few friends and we actually put up an event called the Filipino Reader Con. It was really a volunteer organized affair. We felt that we needed like more events where you highlight readers, not just authors or publishers, but really the vibrant community of book bloggers, book club members. Not a lot of bookstagrammers then, but it was starting.
That's Honey de Peralta, co-founder of the Filipino Readers' Choice Awards. She says the award was originally a volunteer-based initiative that quickly picked up steam.
We had a reader con, and then we also thought that, hey, maybe we need an award where the readers themselves actually pick the favorite books in the country. With very little budget and a small team, we put it up. And the first Filipino Readers' Choice Awards was held in 2012. We only had 7 categories then. And every year it started to grow so that by the time that we held the last one before this year, 2015, we had 13 categories by then. And we already had publishers sending their nominations. And by 2015, because Filipino Readers' Choice Awards is an online award, so people get to vote online, we ended with over 100,000 votes. And this is across different categories: fiction, nonfiction, romance, humor, graphic novels, children's books.
The awards ran into some trouble after 2015, particularly with its volunteers, who were also juggling the responsibilities of their day jobs and went into hiatus. But in 2022, they found a new backer.
This year, we have had the wonderful opportunity through the Book Development Association of the Philippines, of which I am fortunately a trustee now. I pitched the Filipino Readers' Choice Awards to them because it seems that there is still no Readers' Choice Awards locally that covers like a lot of categories. It made sense to the Book Development Association, so now it's been adopted into the BDAP program. BDAP is short for the Book Development Association of the Philippines. BDAP will be including it in its program every other year, alternately with the Gintong Aklat Award, which BDAP also organizes.
That means the Filipino Readers' Choice Awards will now be back every other year. In the meantime, however, there is a 7-year gap that it will have to make up for. Honey says they plan to do this by handing out awards that cover the time period in 2 batches.
Since it's been 7 years, we realized that, okay, I think the best thing that we can do for now is to like have 2 batches. And so we divided it into the first batch, which is 2015 to 2018, which is 4 years. And then the second batch is 2019 to 2021.
Honey says they've retained their selection process, which includes the reader every step of the way.
The process will be the same. The Reader's Choice Awards has 3 phases. The first phase is the nominations phase, and that's divided into 2. Usually we ask for the first part publishers to nominate titles. And then after that short publishers nomination phase, then we open the public nominations, meaning anyone can nominate any book. And when we say any book, we do seriously mean any book, as long as it is published in the Philippines. And by published in the Philippines, it can be by a big publisher, a small publisher, an indie publisher. It can even be self-published. It can be a print book. It can be an ebook. As long as it's published in the Philippines within the time frame of 2015 to 2021. So after the nominations phase, then we will have the voting phase, and that's where it gets exciting.
This year, however, will include 2 new categories: history and translated works.
We were thinking like, okay, if we were to like separate a category from nonfiction, what would it be? What is important now? And I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of people that history right now, history books, a discussion of history, a discussion of like how history is being treated is something relevant to our time. And maybe it's always been relevant. It's just that we didn't give it a lot of attention. We separated that subcategory from the category of nonfiction. So that's how we added the history category.
Nominations, which anyone can make, are currently ongoing and will run until August 24. Online voting is scheduled for September. Honey says judges, who will also be chosen from the reader community, will choose from the 3 works that receive the most votes per category.
In the past, we used to hold the awarding ceremony in the Filipino Reader Con, which, of course, we haven't held in a few years also. Now that it's under the DAP, we actually have a few book fairs scheduled. We just finished one at Lipa. It's called the Philippine Book Fair. And we will be holding a second Philippine Book Fair in November. This is going to be in Baguio. And that is where we will have the awarding of the Filipino Reader's Choice Awards.
And that was today's episode of Teka Teka. Again, I'm Bella Perez Rubio. This episode was produced by Kat Ventura and edited by Presh Capistrano. If you liked today's episode, share it with a friend or two, and follow Teka Teka and Puma Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're excited to build our community with you, and it looks like we'll be able to meet for events real soon. So if you want to stay in the loop, please go to pumapodcast.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Thanks for listening.